Hello, I'm Jason Hooper, the author of My Best Friend's Wife, here on Jerry-Royce Live. Okay.
Hello, and thank you for stopping by. I'm your host, Jerry Royce, and welcome to Positive Power 21 Network, where you get your positive on. This is a worldwide podcast for growth, wealth, and success. Thank you.
Positive Power 21.org, Internet Radio.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us, and welcome to Jerry Royce Live on Positive Power 21.org. I'm your host, the voice of Jerry Royce, and when it's all positive, it's all power. That's Positive Power 21. And today's sponsors are REI Heritage Tours, Cambridge, Maryland, home of Harriet Tubman and the Underground Railroad. Call 1-800-522-TOUR to book your scenic driving tour with more than 30 sites related to freedom seekers in the 1800s. They're also having a conference coming up on June 13th and 14th to celebrate 150 years after her death. Also, we have another conference coming on, Success Revolution Conference 2014, given by Agnes Akatun. More information, Google Success Revolution Conference 2014 is in Columbia, Maryland. And we want to thank Synovia Alexander, author of Cultivated, a writer and producer. She has a new play coming out called Pastor Downfall, and is also being co-produced by Bernard Blue Rowell, and he's author of Son, I Got Your Back, about bullying, how a father helped his son overcome bullying. All right, everybody. Thank you for holding tight with us. And on this show tonight, we're going to have Jason Hooper. Let me pull up his bio real quick. All right, here we go. He's on Amazon.com. Jason Hooper has always had a knack for placing words. He started writing when he was 11 years old. He is the co-writer of urban romance Secret Lovers, which he penned with best-selling author Latoya Johnson. Okay, we got to get her on the show. He is currently hard at work on a novel titled My Best Friend's Wife. Release date was April 10th of 2014, and a number of other projects. With his own novel, Some Things Are Better Left Untold, Jason explained, a story of a young, promiscuous teenager who chooses to make the wrong decisions and the outcome of it all. A spinoff, Some Things Are Better Left Untold too, is also included in his painful urban story. That Girl, the series book 1 through 3, are action-packed short story. Jason tells the story of Latoya Johnson, a young woman faced with a decision of testifying in court or running from the law. With the story Royale Famille, Cooper ventures off into the music industry when he has some more. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to just bring Jason on, and he's going to tell us a little bit more about what he's doing along with his music industry. So, Jason Hooper, welcome to the show tonight. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing pretty good, Jerry. How about yourself?
Good, man. I'm glad you was able to come on Jerry Royce Live, man. Of course, we had a little problem catching up with you early. You're so popular that you forgot all about us, but that's we appreciate you, man. So, Jason, tell us a little bit more about, what wasn't in your bio, how you got your writing career started.
Pretty much I started writing around the house, and, I got incarcerated for a gun charge when I was around 19, When I went to jail, I did a lot of reading, so that really gave me, a little motivation to write. Mm-hmm. And when I came out, I started writing stories, but never to publish. It was just for the love of writing. I would have some time on my hand, and I'd get a pen and some paper and just write. Pretty much that's how it came about.
Good.
So,
now, Jay, were you an avid reader? Were you doing a lot of reading when you was locked up?
Yeah, I would read anything from anything. It could be Malcolm X, some Donald Goins joints, Wadia Clark, a lot of urban writers. But I would read anything. Dean Koontz, it didn't matter. Whatever I could get in my hands, I would read.
Good. Now, my question is, you did one facility and a couple times.
Sorry, I lost you for a while. came back in.
Oh, you did? You lost me again? Okay, I guess our connection
Yeah.
must be a little bad. I was saying, how extensive was the library where you was locked up at?
Oh, it was I think they gave us a few choices to use it a couple times per week, but I never took a chance to go to the library. I was actually finishing up my high school diploma, so I spent a lot of time at school while I was in there, and I would have my family members bring me books, and I probably been to the law library maybe once or twice my whole year down there.
Okay, so you didn't really stay that long.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't do much time at all.
Okay, so that was just enough time for you to fall into writing.
Right, and for me to get my act straight and just know it wasn't a place for me. You know?
That's right. So that was just one time is all you needed.
Yep, that's it.
All right. Okay, so you got your high school diploma while you there. So were you thinking about furthering your education past that?
Yes, I actually did. I went on to college, and I have some credits towards my human services degree. I want to work with young kids, preferably teenagers, to put them on the right path, resources and stuff like that they might not have access to. So I'm actually in school for that as we speak.
That's right. Because one of the problems. So what do you think are some of the problems? We're going to get away from your book a little bit, but what are some of the problems you think that the schools are faced with? What are some of the challenges you think the administrators are dealing with that they're not really armed properly to help these kids? Because the kids are a little different now.
Right. They're faced with the same problems of the past, but it's just a newer breed of, students you have. So it's going to be different kinds of problems, and it's just a lot of stuff going on these days that wasn't going on in the past, but it's the same problems just with more complications. So there's going to take a lot of pulling together to get the kids on the right track as far as that goes for any school. They really need
the community now,
right,
including the business community.
Definitely.
Everybody. That's right. And the White House. And I heard the White House is getting involved. I read an article a couple of weeks ago. I'm actually involved with a high school. They already had a curriculum that they were working with called the African American Male Initiative, where they have a structured group of mentors and men coming together to come up with different. So they basically asking the kids what they need help with. What are their concerns? What are their challenges? So they're having summits. They're having career fairs. They're doing mentoring, one-on-one, group mentoring, you name it. When you were going, Jay, what kind of student were you when you were in high school?
I was not a good student at all. When I didn't get something, I would rarely ask questions. I just wouldn't do it. Probably wouldn't come to school a couple times a week. I was just all over the place. So I finally dropped out,
Yeah.
So
now, what was the difference in you in middle school and high school?
Middle school, I was more on the ball. I was doing my work, and I understood things. And as time went on, I got a little older, and the work changed, and I kind of didn't get some things. And I just, I don't know what it was. I just wouldn't reach out at that time. And I see that in a lot of students these days. And, all it takes, is a little effort to get what they need to get,
So in other words, you didn't take the initiative to ask for additional help from your instructors. I mean, did you view your teachers as the enemy, or you say, okay, they're a resource, but I'm just not going to take advantage of it?
That's exactly what it was. I knew it was, good for me, but at the time it was like, for whatever reason, it was like the least important thing to me, looking back.
Was it peer pressure?
Yeah, peer pressure. Just the streets in general kind of sucked me in,
Yeah.
Seeing things I wanted. And
Now, do you consider yourself, now let's talk about you in high school. Were you a leader or were you a follower?
I think I was a little of both. You know, I followed some things, and then again, you know, a lot of kids, they fall into the problems with using drugs. That, you know, I never did as a teenager. You know, it just didn't. I just couldn't follow that because
Right.
I seen what it did to my household. So it was some things I did follow, usually when I was, you know, not aware of the effects or whatnot, I would follow. But when I was aware of what could happen, I kind of, you know, follow my own program.
Okay. Now, because of the way the facility is set up, you know, not having your freedom, waking up when they say wake up, shower when they say shower, eat when they say eat, was that enough for you right there, or was it something else that kind of said, okay, this is not for me, I don't want to come back, you know?
Yeah.
So what?
It was a
so what the homeboys? I'm sorry,
right.
go
It
ahead.
was a combination of that, and it was like the simple things I took for granted. Like I couldn't say, I'm about to walk up to the park and sit on the bench. There was none of that.
Mm-hmm.
So when I saw it could take that from me, that was a problem. I knew I really couldn't see myself in that position again.
Now, I'm out here on Amazon. Now we're gonna move into your book a little bit. It's almost the top of the hour, and I appreciate you sharing that information about yourself. Because you know when you pulling fans, you want your fans to know the real you, the honest part of you, and then they know where you know when you write with passion, why you write with so much fire. Now, do you have your name on 3 books, or this is another Jason Cooper right here? Because I'm looking at, I know on Amazon you said My Best Friend's Wife is your book, right?
Right.
Now, how about you got a book called, let's say it's called F.U. Pay Me, FYPM.
Yeah. That's
you.
one of my street lit books. I write in different genres under the umbrella of urban fiction. You might see my name on a romance book, a erotica book, a street lit. I try to write everything because I get bored doing one thing.
Okay, so you have a couple of books out. Okay, because I'm looking at Street Lovers. That's you too.
What's that? What's the title? Street Lovers?
Secret Lovers. I'm sorry, Secret Lovers.
Yes, that's me and Latoya West.
All right, and then you have Some Things Are Better Left Untold. That was in your bio, and then they got one called That Girl. And that Girl is yours too. All right.
Yes,
so
That Girl 1 through 3.
Okay, so you have a lot of projects out there. Yeah,
I believe it's 10 to be exact. 10 projects.
Wow, I did not know that, man. I think when I was listening to your show that you were on, because we found you listening to our show. Is that correct?
Right. I believe he was listening to Macy Brown's show.
Yeah.
I believe it's every Thursday.
Right. Now, I don't remember hearing them say that you had these many projects that were out there. Now, are
we
you
focused
writing
on one.
Okay. Now, are you writing under a publishing company, or you writing under your own name?
I currently write from my own publishing house, but I'm working something out with a publisher, so you'll see my name with somebody else's soon.
Mhm. Good. And I like your covers, man. Your covers have a story behind it. You know, I like your covers, man. So you're responsible for the selection of your models and the cover design?
Yes.
Good work.
Yes. I learned covers is really important.
Heck yeah, man. So you have a talent, like an eye for art. So because you're in charge of the whole project, everything passes through you.
Right.
Wow.
Exactly.
Now, Jay. Now, thinking about, let's look at this, man. Let's fast forward a little bit. All right. Well, let's just talk about right now. Okay, seeing all of this I'm looking at, and then you telling me the story you just told me. Did you see this happening? You know, sometime in the period of your life, you saw your future.
Never.
Did you see this?
I would have never believed I would write a book. But it takes a lot of it takes a lot of going through stuff to bring it out of me. It took me being homeless, me losing everything I had, really feeling the pain to really sit down and write a book. Before that, it was just a thought that came here and there, but I never took it serious, nor attempted to write a book.
So how old are you now, Jay?
I'm 34.
34. So when all this happened, you were like in your teens.
Right.
So what were you like in your 20s?
Yeah, hardships. I got married at 23, and it didn't work out, but we still get along for the sake of my son.
Okay, that's good.
It's another learning experience. Got into a fatal car accident and survived that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, so it took the incarceration, having a son, getting married, fatal car accident. It took all of that to mold you to the guy you are now, or was it a little bit more than that?
And then finally, the homelessness.
Now, how did that happen?
That happened when you lie on your application and you're relying on a company, and that company lets you go. You don't have no alternatives, So
you lost your home.
Yeah.
So you lost your home because of the job.
Right.
So you was on your own at that point. You weren't married at that point.
Right.
Okay. And a lot of that was because of the information that you weren't convicted of a crime or something like that.
Yes, I lied on my application, told them I didn't have a felony, and it's a violent felony, and the company was military. So when they did my background check, it went back, to 1999, and this actually was a job application that I did in 2008. I slipped through the cracks of an agency, and when they got ready to put me on full time, they found it and fired me on the spot. And it was like 3 weeks before Christmas, so that was real tough. So
kind of your own man. Yeah, so you was your own man, so really you didn't have anybody to fall back on.
Right. And then, finally I sucked my pride up. I went to a family member's house, but, for months I just went through it and kind of, reflected on everything and thought about how I got to where I was at. And, that sent the bell off in my head, like, I never want to be there again.
Right. So what's catapulted you forward? What moved you back to where you are today? I mean, got you writing. I mean, when was it? What year was it when things started looking positive for you?
This was 2009. I actually went back and finished my first semester of college. That was an eye-opener for me because I actually got to work at my son's school for field work. It was actually for some credits, and I got to watch him kind of bloom in kindergarten and, start learning how to read. And that kind of that gave me more balance in my life. So when I started looking for things to do, it was like, write a story. You read so many on those days where you was looking for a job and couldn't find one, and you just sat back and, had to stimulate my mind with something. So, of course, I went back to books. And, that brought about the storytelling right there. I started writing my first novel on paper, and I finished about 30,000 words before I actually found out about Microsoft Words or anything else, as far as a computer goes, because I was computer illiterate probably like 2.5 years ago.
So the family member got you back on your feet?
Yeah.
All right, so then the writing started. So you got back to work?
Yeah, eventually I did. Yeah.
Okay, good. So what is your actual skill that you actually make a living off of, not counting your publishing company and your writing?
At the moment, it's solely writing. and I've started writing for other people and, rewriting for other people. They might give me a story that, is rough around the edges, and, I give it a little more life. Everything I do right now is centered around writing.
All right. So right now, basically your business is your bread and
right. And other than that, I'm just a student,
And so you got at least 10 books out, and all of your books are for sale. Because like I see a lot of artists, after so many copies, they start giving away them for free. What's the reason for them doing that? Trying to get their name out there, trying to establish a fan group, a fan club.
Yeah, I've done it before. I've done it on my older books, on my like part ones to a series. It catapults your sales. If the book is entertaining, people will buy the part two because you gave them part one for free, and they'll go on to buy part three sometimes. It's a grind. You definitely have to be on it to sell books. Some people think you could just make a book and, publish it through Amazon and just sit back and collect money after that, but it doesn't work like that.
That's right. So tell us, what's the secret to your madness? How are you pushing your books? Use the offline and online?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
At first, I was more offline than online because all I knew was paperbacks, and I was on the corners just selling paperbacks, and it was like people was coming at me like, yo, you ain't got an e-book? And I'm like, what's an e-book? I didn't even know what an e-book was. So, when they put me on to that, I'm like, man, this is like the wave. This thing works. So pretty much I'm on Facebook, in and out of the groups. And, I put it in front of them as professionally as I can and hope people like the story. And some people do like the story, and some people, they don't like the story. So
you give up a couple chapters in some of your books on Facebook?
Yeah, I might do a sneak peek on a chapter. I used to do it more so last year than I do this year, because I realized that Amazon gives a sample. When you open the book on Amazon, you can see pretty much, I believe it's like 10% of the book, and you buy it based on that. So what's limit?
I'm sorry. I was going to say, what's driving more sales for you, online or offline? Facebook, Twitter, or using Pinterest, Google?
Facebook and Goodreads.
Goodreads.
If you establish a good fan base on those two sites, you'll be all right. Some people don't look further than Facebook.
Because are they looking at the fact now? I hear a lot of authors are also great customers too, because they also enjoy reading just as much as writing, because that's how they got started. Are you one of those people? You enjoy a good book? And who's your favorite author?
Definitely. One of my favorite active authors right now who is writing books still to this day, and I see him on Facebook all the time, is T. Styles and Leo Sullivan. Those are two of my favorite authors right now.
All right. Yeah. And what genres they write under?
For a few years.
Right. And what genres they write under?
I write in urban fiction as well.
Oh, they do? Okay. Now, do you follow any female urban writers?
Yeah, T. Styles is a female. I also follow my co-writer, Latoya West.
Okay.
She's doing her thing with that Side Chick series. So.
Yeah, I'm going to check her out. All right, man, I'm going to check out some of your reviews. I'm on Amazon right now. And one of your people they just come out of the gates with 5 stars saying awesome. They say, I can't believe the ending. Are you serious? This is a very good read. I love the concept going from the past to the present. It was awesome. I can't wait until part 2. This book is great. Just when you think you have things figured out, there's another curveball. I love this book. When does part 2 come out? All right. And that was a big fan. Okay, also on the other side of it, somebody gave you 3 stars, and they said, and this, what did they say in their name? Well, friends. Okay, he said, I think this book was okay. I was definitely a page turner. I was wondering if these people are even friends. Hopefully, Cardell and Grace gets everything Karma gives them. Yes, Randy is no angel, but it's clear that he has issues like all of them. And they said when part 2 comes, maybe their secrets will too. They are a mess. So obviously they sound like they liked the book, but they just didn't rate it. Sound like they were really interested in the characters in this book.
Sometimes people will do that. If they don't like the way something happened in the story, they'll take a star or 2 from you for that. If they didn't think that should have went like that, you're going to pay for it in the review.
Well, yeah, I see, and that's what happened with this one. All right, now this is for your book, My Best Friend's Wife. Tell us a little bit about your main character.
Oh, man, the main character in that book is Cardell. And the other main character is, of course, the wife is Grace. And Cardell he's a friend of Grace's husband. So they really have a close relationship. I wouldn't call it good, but they have a lot of chemistry and they have a lot of history with each other. So that's where it becomes a problem because the husband, which is Randy, he doesn't really know what's going on, but he has a good idea.
So Cardell's cheating? Is that what's happening?
Cardell, yes, he's actually sleeping with his best friend's wife.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a lot of twists in that book. A lot of turns.
There's a lot of twists?
Yeah.
A lot of twists. So what's the deal with him? Is it that you said, okay, they have a past together, so they grew up together in the same neighborhood?
Yes, they met each other in a college party. And, kind of do what college kids do after a party.
So they kind of lit it up back. So early on when they met, they had gotten together, and they just can't let go.
Right. And, and his friend never knew that.
He never knew that. Okay. So his best friend never heard of this woman until well, I guess he's going to figure some things out. So Randy never knew he knew his wife. So what, they didn't show up in the wedding? He didn't act like they knew each other?
Well, yeah, he came to the wedding just like every other one of Randy's friends, and he just kind of, at the beginning of the book, if you read the sample on Amazon, it will show actually a scene where it is Cardell and Grace, and he's telling her like, you don't love my friend, so why are you gonna waste this time with this marriage? You can't live a lie. What me and you did. You can't be serious. And she's pretty much going for what she knows, but she had she had a thing for Cardell. She really liked him a lot, but she saw that he wasn't interested in her, so the next best thing was his friend.
Oh, wow, that's women for you. All right, the next review says, wow, this was a very good book. I can't wait for the sequel. Hurry up. Job well done. Now, Jason, do the fans force you to write a little faster or change the deadlines? What's going on with your fans?
They used to. I used to, 15 or 20 people tell me like, hey, I need a part 2. I'm on it, writing it as fast as I can. But as every other lesson I learned in my life, I learned the hard way. And with that, I learned that you rush a book, you're going to have 1,000,001 mistakes in it. And it's going to hurt yourselves in the long run. So right now I'm at a place where I just, I go with the flow. If I'm not feeling writing today, I'm not going to write today, no matter, how bad the fans want the story, because I want to give them the best I can give them.
That's right. And does that happen sometime? You can go a couple days, just it's not like nothing coming to you, just not in the mood.
Yeah, it's more so with me. It's like I didn't have time to write today because I always have something to write. It's always something on my mind, but it's like, am I going to get the time to do it?
That's right. Now, are you one of those authors that you can juggle more than one project at one time?
Yes. At the same time, I wrote about four books at the same time. I was kind of rotating through them, and I do good with that because I might not have the twist for one tale, but I got it for another one. So I'm on to that one, and next week I'll be on this one. I kind of I'm real organized when it comes to writing, so one week I have something I'm working on, then next week is this, and I'll keep going in that rotation.
All right. So do you do an outline and write out your characters' names, their personalities, what do they look like, how they dress, what they driving?
Yes. But you know what? I always end up changing it somewhere in between the story. So between making the outline and writing the story, a lot of things are going to change.
That's right. Wow. All right, you have another review here because you have a lot of reviews on all of your books. But this one say, very good read. Drama at its best when it comes to a cheating wife, a backstabbing friend, a husband for gambling problem, and one friend that's close to them, all that's caught in between. I can't wait for part 2. Get writing, Hooper. Man, they don't play. They don't play. But they say some really good things about your writing, man. So Jay, now, did it come natural for you, your penmanship, or you had to study the craft a little bit?
I definitely studied the craft, and I'm still improving to this day. I'm not even nowhere near where I think I can be. But it was like I went from not writing dialogue to learning where dialogue should go.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I've read a couple books, and everybody was speaking very well. It was good grammar. Now, there was a couple curse words thrown here and there, but face it, though, when, like you talking to your colleagues is one thing, but when you talking to your homies, sound like they were still talking, I'm not saying that's your book, but I've read a couple of them where they were still speaking very well. What's the deal with your books?
Right.
Do you change up the style depending on who they dialoguing with?
I try to. I try to do it based on the character himself, because you're going to get some people that just, they just always cussing, because that's the type of person they is. Or you're going to get a person that always pause and, and stutter or whatnot. So I really try to do it based on the character, and that's actually something I'm, learning and I'm reading up on things to improve that part of my writing, because actually I heard that dialogue is one of the most hardest things when it comes to writing a fiction story.
And why's that?
I believe because people have their own idea of how somebody should talk, so they tend to follow that in their book, and they don't really look at how very different people talk, from place to place, depending on what region of the country you're in or whatnot.
That's right. Yeah, versus a UK brother reading your book versus somebody in the islands reading your book. Yeah, it'd be very different for them. Yeah, I can understand that. Now, which book was the most challenging book for you out of all the 10 books?
My most challenging book was Secret Lover, because Latoya West, she don't really play, and if she don't like something, she gonna tell you. So it was like write, rewrite, write, and rewrite again with her. So that was real challenging, and I like that. because, of course, I feel that it improved my writing.
It pushed you to greatness.
Right.
So after working with her, you think you became a better writer, or just more cognizant of what you was writing?
Definitely. I became a better storyteller and a better writer. You know, just learned to kind of let it. Right.
So is she a really good storyteller?
She's a really good storyteller, and her popularity shows that.
Wow. So how was you able to team up with her? I mean, what gave you the favor?
Actually, I met her through another co-writer, jerry-royce. He's a pretty good writer from Mississippi. He had introduced me to her and another writer, and me and her kind of got along really well, and we started talking about writing a book, so we tried it, and we actually have like about 2 or 3 books written together, but we released one.
Okay. So how does that work? So how does that work? One person tell a story and the other person write it?
Pretty much. I would write something, or she would write something, and we would just email it back and forth and keep adding on, add a character. We have a phone conversation about it, see what we could do, and see what we didn't want. And it was pretty smooth with me and her. I don't think it's that smooth with everybody, but me and her just happen to have some chemistry with the thing.
Yeah, so everything clicked really well. Wow.
Right.
That's interesting, man, because I actually told another author about a story, and it sounded like it would be nice if she wrote it and then shared it with me. I say, nah, I don't. It didn't happen like that the way I see it. Is that the way you guys work? Like she don't see it, she don't get it, and then you have to go back and do it again?
No, it was more like, with us, it was more like, why did that happen? Like, this could have happened and it would have made more sense. That was the memo she was sending me. If I would send her a piece that she really too much wasn't feeling, that was the memo I would get. It wasn't really how it happened. It was like what happened, and
right.
You know, what are the supporting facts for that? Why did that happen that way? Everything has to make perfect sense with her. Then I thought about it, and I'm like, yeah, that, you know, a story's supposed to make perfect sense.
Right, comes all together, right? Because you don't want the person, the reader, scratching their head, say, wait a minute, but he said that in chapter 5, but then he comes back in 30 and say this, and in 50. It kind of gets them too twisted and it's not coming together. And then that's not fair to the reader after they spend money on it. So I can understand that. All right. Now, are you doing book festivals?
Book festivals I really want to do. I really want to make it to the Harlem Book Fair. I don't know if I'm going to have a booth or a table out there, but if God's willing, I'll be there. That's what I've been shooting for the past 2 years, and I haven't made it there yet.
Yeah, man, that's a big one too. So, Jay, where are you from? Where are you right now?
From Rochester, New York. Born and raised.
Okay. You living there now?
Yeah. Yep. Upstate New York.
Good. So you don't come down to Maryland and visit the D.C. Book Festival, the Baltimore Book Festival? They're huge too. Really?
I heard about that. Actually, I rode through Maryland last summer. I was going to a family reunion in South Carolina. And I saw that. I saw the DC Book Fair?
Yes.
Yeah,
I saw that. I think they run close together, if I'm not mistaken. I know when I was doing this back in 2008, 2009, I remember those two book festivals, because I know the Baltimore one is always in September, because I remember the weather's changing. Right. And I think the D.C. one runs pretty close to that one. And then at one time, I remember I thought the Harlem Book Festival wasn't but a few weeks apart also, and maybe some stuff going on in Philly.
Right.
Because I think they do try to keep them close together, so when people decide to do their weekend to weekend, they can take advantage of at least 2 book festivals, depending on where they come in on the top. So I'm going to have to look into that.
Yes.
I keep promising myself I was going to do a calendar of events on this site, but I haven't. I don't know what happens, man. My day starts, and I'm saying, I know it's something I'm supposed to do, so I need to probably email myself right now as soon as I finish this conversation with you that I need to work on the calendar events calendar to see when all these book festivals are coming up so we can start talking about them. But, man, I really appreciate you coming on here, man, and I know the fans are going to want to meet you, and that is one of the big ones, man. So, one day I guess you can grace your fans with a table. And by you writing under so many genres, you do have a many of them that's in the spring. They start now and work their way through the summer festival. Now, are you looking at doing festivals? A lot of festivals are going on in the New York area. Is that one of the things you're going to be considering for your company?
Definitely. I'm trying to get there right now. I'm doing so much production. I'm doing so much writing, and it's really hard to break away from it.
Yeah.
So I could imagine that once I get it done and I have a few more books published, I'll be getting into all of the festivals.
That's right. And how about you carrying a few under? I mean, since you're doing rewrites, are you planning on carrying other authors under your brand?
Definitely. Right now I have 2 I'm actually working with, and they'll be having projects releasing this summer, actually later this month and next month as well.
Okay.
I'll be releasing.
They're also going to be coming on the Kindle versions as well?
Yes.
E-book?
Kindle versions and paperbacks as well.
All right, good. Now, a lot of your books were released pretty close together. I think you looked like you was releasing them every...
Sometimes I release months back to back.
Companies also.
I work on stories. I work on a few stories at a time, so I'll be finishing them up like back to back. Okay,
and all of your books are running in series.
Some of them are, and Secret Lovers was a standalone, and actually, me and Latoya Johnson are working on something else, so we'll be seeing something else from us sometime later this year.
All right. And it looks like that book you have called Some Things Are Better Left Untold was kind of favored among your readers because you had a lot of reviews for that book.
Yeah.
How you felt about that book?
That one. Excuse me?
I said, how you felt about that book?
Oh, that book. It was it did pretty well, and when I wrote it, it was for teenagers with pretty much reckless sexual behaviors.
Oh, okay, so they really liked that. So that book probably was hot out there for a while because that came out in December 2013. So that came out right before Christmas, so people were home, so they can probably Facebook each other. You got to get it. Good move. So are there marketing strategies? Depending on what holidays are coming up, like Mother's Day, Christmas, Valentine, do you make it an effort to really promote a lot more?
It is. I make it my business to release at least 2 or 3 books every winter because winter books sell so much more and rapidly. It's real different with winter versus summer as far as release dates. So I love releasing in the winter. And you won't see me release too much in the summer.
And is it because people are basically just buying books for travel, and they're just probably just grabbing different authors, trying some out, things just, I guess people spend their money on a lot of different things during the summer than they do during the winter months. I mean, do you understand the trend?
Yeah. Definitely, I'm catching on to the way people shop and just Christmas, not Christmas, but winter months in general are popular because people spend more time in the house. In summer, they ripping and running and they might be intended to buy your book, but it's not much as a priority as it would be when it's cold outside.
Yeah,
and
like
it's
you
really
said,
nothing else to do.
Yeah, and plus it probably take them a little longer to get through books during the summer. Like you said, they're not just sitting around the house. I mean, but now the Kindle, the tools are so reliable. I see people outside in the sunlight reading electronic device. You know, like the sun is not even affecting those anymore. So, I mean, what happens when people go on vacation? They say, because I remember I was talking to somebody. They said, yeah, you know, we was planning on taking a trip, so he downloaded 12 books for his daughter because he knew they was going to be away and she wasn't going to have access to the internet. So that, you know, 12 quick sales, you know, like almost like impulse buying.
Right.
So you may start seeing a difference. You know, it may start changing because it seems like I'm starting to see a lot of releases right now. A lot of authors are pushing to release a lot of Kindle books. So I'm wondering what's going on. Are they anticipating because people are going to be traveling that they need new stories to read while they're on the plane, while they're laying around the hotel waiting on an event to start? You know, is it changing? Do you think?
Yes.
People money getting better now. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I fear this, but I would hate to see paperbacks disappear, but it seems like it's pushing more towards that, you know.
Yeah, it is. I mean, some people say they still like the smell of pages, but overall, it's just so much quicker if you could just buy a book. It's finished downloading in seconds. You're reading it, and then you can get through it really, really quick. Next thing you know, you like it. You want to get another one. You know, you can just like how people are with Netflix. I mean, you enjoy going to the movie theater, you know, with that whole theater effect. You know, a date and everything, the room filled with people in the dark. But at the same token, when you get home, look how many more movies you can run through when you're sitting on your own couch. You can get up anytime you got to go to the bathroom. You can just pause it. Bam. You're hungry. You get a bite to eat, take a little break. Like I went to the movies last weekend, Memorial Day weekend, and I was only able to catch 2 movies in a quart. I got to maybe 20 minutes into Spider-Man, and I was just so hungry for some real food. I just said, I got to go. You know? Yep. So I'm thinking the same thing with books. It's so convenient for someone to have it on Kindle. They can get through way more books. Because, one, you can take your little device every single place you go. Like I read them on my tablet. I read them on my iPhone. My iPhone is always with me. If I'm in my car, chilling, waiting on my kids to finish up activity, I could read a couple chapters, you know. But the book could be stuck in my briefcase, you know.
Right.
So the trend I think it's going to change a lot, Jason, for the better, you know. Like you said, some people fearing it. Yeah, some people publishers don't. I guess some people may like it because one, you don't have to spend the money on the print, and now I'm hearing that Amazon make it pretty convenient for you guys to do on demand. Are you thinking about trying them out for your on-demand paperbacks?
Yes, I actually sold Some Things Are Better Left Untold Part 1 in paperback, and once I sold out, I didn't request any more to be held there.
Oh, okay.
I sold a lot on the
long?
street. Excuse me.
Do you do pre-orders for those, or you just buy them yourself and then you just take them to, you know, wherever you're going to sell them at?
Yeah, that's how it goes. What I do is I order a batch for wholesale price, and I take them and sell them at retail on the street wherever I want to go with them.
Right. Good. All right, Jason. Really appreciate you, asking those hard questions, man, of the author's world, Jason's world. I really appreciate that. Yeah, and give us the name of your publishing company before we let you go.
It's Black Pyramid Publishing.
All right. So you say you don't have a website up yet, but we soon will see one, right?
Yeah, that's definitely in the works.
All right. That's Jason, my best friend's wife, his latest release. And before you go, Jason, anything you'd like to say to your fans, new fans? What's going on? What you like to say to them?
I would just like to say that, It helped me a lot through the writing process, as far as leaving reviews and supporting me. And I'm just so thankful for that. And please continue to support me.
That's right. Amen. Amen. And that is an important thing, getting those reviews. Man, I think of all the authors I've had on here, I think you may be at least have the third most, but I've never seen that many books with that many like I've seen with yours. So that's really good fan work right there, man, on your part. That's fantastic.
Thanks.
All right, man. We wish you the best, man, and we'll check back on you in the future, man. We probably send you something out to see if you'd like to get involved with some extra promotion. We can help you out. You can help us out, and we'll see what you're doing probably sometime before Christmas pop. See where you are, okay?
All right. Thanks, Jerry.
All right, man. So that's Jason Hooper on Jerry Royce Live. Take care, everybody, and thanks for tuning in. And don't forget about the resume guide at www.career-ms.com and fasttechsolutions.net if you're looking for someone to rebuild your infrastructure for your small business, only in the Delmarva area, though. Thanks, everybody, and take care. I'm Jerry Royce, and that's a wrap. Thanks a million, Jay. Appreciate that, man.
I appreciate you working with my
Thank you for tuning in to the Positive Power 21 Network.
Bruh.
Team
Take care,
21
man.
would
We've
like
been
to
in touch
thank
with
you all
you.
for tuning in, and please spread the word and tell a friend.
All right,
This is Jerry Royce.
All right.
Positive Power 21, where we get our positive on.